There's a special type of reducing fractions that results in a mixed number. So I want to take a moment to talk about what those are and where they come from. So far, we've only looked at fractions like 2/3 or 1/2, where the numerator is less than the denominator. These fractions can be reduced, and these are reduced fractions, but they're always going to be a fraction. Sometimes we have numbers where the bigger number is on top. For example, 4/3 or 8/2. We can't reduce these fractions the same as we reduce the others. We can't divide both 4 and 3 by the same number, for example. So we have to dig a little bit deeper to what these numbers represent. 8/2 is a good example to start with, because this mixed number can be reduced the same way as before. For example, we can divide both 8 and 2 by 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4, and 2 divided by 2 is 1. So this means we have 4 pieces that are each the size of one whole. So we can think of this as drawing 4 circles, and then we shade in all 4 circles. And so this fraction is just equal to the number 4. Now this isn't a mixed number though, it's a whole number. It doesn't have a decimal or fractional part. So let's come back to this first example of 4/3. And to help us conceptualize what's going on, it's nice to draw a picture. So let's say I have a circle and I divide it into thirds. So this whole circle, well, this is 3/3. But notice that I want 4/3. So I have to draw in another circle, also divided into thirds. And then the part that's left over gets shaded in. So we have our 3/3 and then 1/3. Now, since we've shaded in this whole circle, 3/3 is just equal to 1, and 1/3 is what remains. So this is a mixed number. A mixed number. It has a whole number part, as well as a fraction part. So this is why it's called a mixed number, because it's made up of a whole number and a fraction. Let's try one more example. How about 7/4? Again, it'll be nice to draw a picture. So I have a square, cut it into 4 parts, shade them all in. And that's 4/4. But I want 7/4, so I need to add more of them. So I'm going to draw another square, and I'm dividing it into 4 parts, because our denominator is 4. That tells us how many parts we divided it into. But this time I only need to shade in 3 of them, because 3/4, 4 and 3 give us 7. Now 4/4 is just 1, and 3/4 is just 3/4, so we can reduce 7/4 to 1 and 3/4. And that's how we reduce fractions to mixed numbers.